Yeah, swap over to Schwap it.
Oh,
Jeff, good morning, sir.
hey, Steven, where did you come from?
Oh, just over here in Las Vegas, where I'm always at.
How'd you
How are you?
get into my house so quickly?
Did you notice that we have new surroundings today? We have
Ooh,
new flooring, some new wall decor.
there's
I
a
don't
nice Exa right beneath me.
I don't know what this is exactly below me.
I think it's your underwear.
This purple thing, but yeah, we got some new decorations. We've got our social medias listed on the bottom, and then we've got the SC Prime website right here in the middle for anybody that wants to go check that out.
Man,
Um,
that's so cool. You guys are amazing.
we got
Who,
this. We got
who made
our
this background? You and David?
Yeah. Me and David kind of brainstormed on it for about an hour yesterday with the help of Midjourney. So we found some overlays that we liked, and then we blended those in Midjourney, and then just kind of made this a smorgasbord of digital media. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed there's some real scary stuff, some nightmare fuel in the middle there, but that's how it goes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Some indiscernible font.
So good morning or good afternoon in my case. Hi, everybody. I'm Uncle Jeff.
Shardy B. Good
Uh,
morning.
we are having a little call here today. So what's up, Stephen? What have we got to talk about this week?
I guess kind of just touching back over what happened last week. We Henry did the meetup, and we had Turtle Bomb on talking about the dioramas and kind of his background.
What a
I
combo!
got
Like who would have guessed
Yeah,
ex-marine realtor diorama builder, right?
yeah, pretty awesome conversation, really. Um, yeah, and then I got the SC box 2 that came in. Um,
And you got
so
that set up now, right?
I got that set up. It's running. It's trickling SCP every day. Kind of getting hooked. Kind of got a hook in me for ASIC mining now. So I ordered 2 of the HS lights from Gold Shell yesterday. Also, those are a little bit more on the shipping time. Those are like 2 to 3 weeks out, I think. But it's a little more hash rate than the SC box, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. Kind of diving into it a little bit, but
And you have those SC boxes right over your shoulder there. That's what's happening.
right here, yeah. So that's the SC box running. I've got seedlings in front of it right now, so we're getting into springtime, and I had like one seed tray that wouldn't propagate. And since I put it in front of the SC box, you can see I got a couple little corn plants popping up already just within a few days from the constant. It pumps out like 76, 78-degree heat out of the front of it. So
That'll be nice in Vegas in the summer.
yeah, it's right on my shoulder.
But it's mining. It's mining both SCP and corn.
All at the same time.
Wow.
Can't
This,
beat it.
the world we live in is an amazing place.
Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it. But yeah, it's just a steady trickle of like, I don't know. I'm seeing between 1.5 and 1 point or like 2 SCP every couple hours from. I'm doing the SC mining pool, the RP crypto SC mining pool. But yeah,
Wait, you're mining SC Prime on it, right?
yeah, SCP, correct.
Got it. Just but on the SC pool.
You're right.
Yeah. Some of those ones seem like they're legacy, and they keep on talking about like I want to make sure the coins are right. So
Right.
the other ASICs you bought are also going to go on SC Prime.
Yep. Same thing with those. Those are also they mine either Siacoin, Handshake, or SC Prime,
Okay.
and the hash rate's going to all go to SC Prime pool.
Got it.
So yeah.
I know there's. Listen, I'm not an ASIC guy. I mean, I built some milk crate rigs back in like 2015,
Right.
and they made a hell of a lot of noise. And I sold them for more than I bought them for, and that's about it.
You kind of have to have a space to isolate them, right? So like my garage that I have here, I was using that for woodworking for a long time, and I'm not using it for that anymore. So I'm kind of like, well, I might as well just throw some loud, noisy, hot boxes out there that'll make some money, and just trying to keep collecting as many coins as possible.
Right. Actually, you know what? I got to correct myself. I had an obelisk too from the
really
green chain, and I put it in the basement of the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, whatever. It sits beside the compressors. Of course, all those things failed, and the motherboards fell apart.
Nice.
And I didn't realize for like a month. I went to go check how it's doing, and because I could hear it, so I'm like, well, it's running. And
what was the deal with those? Didn't they go obsolete like right after they launched or something? I know there was like a little backstory behind the obelisk.
That's where all this fork shit that we're sitting in happened, right? David designed those, and then I forget, Goldshell or somebody came along and ate his lunch, and so then he forked the obelisks off, and that's where all the S11s came from, because they didn't have a chain to hash on.
Right, and so that's kind of the birth of where SC Prime,
exactly.
the origin story, if you will.
Right, and that's also the where we are right now with the decision to fork, as I understand it, and obviously I don't, is to fork to where Obelisk already forked to.
Right. And I know we don't want to speak about that too much because it's still kind of a pending topic. And if anybody's in the Discord and hasn't voted yet, if you go to the ASIC mining channel,
yeah, that's a good
pinned to the very top. There's a poll. I think right now it's sitting at like 100 to 14. 100 are in favor. There's obviously like you feel for some of the guys. There's obviously guys that have invested a lot in this S11 hardware that are, good supporters of the project. So it's not like every S11 owner is a bad guy by any means. I don't think that's the gist of it. But
I mean, I saw a T-shirt that said that. It said every S11 owner is a bad guy, but it's just a T-shirt. I'm sure there's one that says the opposite, right?
But definitely go vote if you haven't voted yet. Go check that out.
Yep. What did you just say? Check that out. Are you hear any Henry calls? What's going on?
It's a little bit, dude. I like a fun little twang, man. I like a little Canadian twang every once in a while.
Half Ontario, half Texas.
I'll admit it. Yeah. What about you? What I saw you set up. You did a screen share the other day, or sent a screen cap showing some kind of system with like 400 gigs of RAM in it that you're running a relayer on. What's up with that?
Yeah. If David, you want to punch up a screen share there. So our friend Zach Flux in the Discord, who always has the answer to everything you ever need to ask, helped me set up this Dell 7810. Maybe?
It's a T. It's one of the T models, right? Like a T780 or T430.
Yep, I don't know. It's a tower. T stands for tower, right?
We know that. Yeah,
it's a tower.
But man, that's some beastly specs. I was a little jealous when I saw this. Honestly, I thought my laptop with 64 gigs was like, top of the line. But 125 gigs of RAM is pretty sweet for a relayer.
I got to say, I mean, I built this off of some eBay parts. I think it cost me like $600. I don't. We did it last year.
Not bad.
This was the original couch relayer. This thing was laying on the floor in my apartment under my couch. I definitely ran with scissors and went too fast. This is much too powerful for my house. I upgraded to 1 gig fiber. It's got a 2 terabyte SSD or like an NVMe in there. And, it's a lot of hardware.
Yeah. We pick expensive hobbies for some reason, I notice.
Right, but it's also nothing wrong with this, right?
Yeah.
We can take this somewhere else. This can whatever. It's a project.
Yeah.
So I set it up as a relayer, and it worked pretty damn fast. I posted some pictures on in the relayer channel on the Discord, and right away I got Photoshop Xeon was the question.
Right. I remember that. Are you running the NVMe, or are you running that for your cache also? So that's the cache and the file system are both on NVMe?
It doesn't have a lot of hardware. It doesn't have a lot of storage in there right now.
Right.
It's got like the OS, it's running Ubuntu, and the OS is running on like a 128 SSD,
Well,
and then like
if you're using it for relayer, it's not like I guess you don't really need the storage. If all it's doing is just you have infinite amount of bucket space out there in the
that's the point, right?
on the network. So yeah, that's awesome. That's cool.
Exactly. So I had this set up and it was ripping fast. I put some stuff on it. But then I realized that we're working through this, and my account is pre-May 1st. And so on Thursday, or previously, it was announced that we're going to start charging for real on May 1st. And so we've all been doing a lot of test data. I mean, I threw a bunch of movie folders, and not downloaded movies, but like recorded videos and stuff like this. I threw a bunch of pictures from my photo folder just to watch it go. But I realized that this isn't really what I want, and this isn't what I'm going to store in the long term. I know that you're starting to back up everything in your house on your relayer.
Pretty much, yeah. I have like, it's partially because I support the network and I like seeing the data go up on my storage. I like hearing my Examiner hard drives tick a little bit, so I kind of just keep hitting the upload button. But yeah, I've got backups of my laptop, my wife's computer, my kid's computer. All my work files are on there. Same thing, videos, photos.
Yeah.
And for a while, Windows actually has a pretty cool utility. I know not a Windows guy, but it's FS util. And you can actually create a test file any size you want. So you can do 5 megs or 500 terabytes, whatever, and Windows just writes it for you.
Oh,
so
that's interesting. That's good but it's wasted space. You don't want to pay for that.
Right. It's wasted space. But yeah, like you're saying, so there was a lot of test files on there that I was doing originally. And yeah, they're starting to bill. Obviously, we don't all want to pay for, every little scrap of tests that we've done on it. So I know Henry on the last meetup was talking about the tokens and kind of how the tokens work with. That's what ties your relayer instance to the billing in the XNS console. If I'm correct.
Right, and I think that's what we want to talk about this next bit, because what Ken put in the announcement and what Henry said on the call was, if you want to clean up that, it's time to nuke the keys and start fresh. If you like what's on there and you want to pay for it, then don't delete it. Don't just be a degen and run in and delete all your tokens right away, because then you're just going to go, oh crap, how do I get them back? And apparently you don't get them back.
It's done. Yeah, it's done. Once you delete that key, it sounds like that's pretty much it.
I mean, as it would make sense, right? That's how it's a secret key.
Yeah.
So what we have special guest, he's already been leaked out there. Our friend Henry is joining us today to just give us maybe a quick recap on all this dumb stuff we just said. How about that, Henry? Can you pop him up, David?
Oh, nice.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Henry.
Henry, what's up, man?
I'm well. Good to join you guys this afternoon for me as well, like with Jeff. Okay, so we're looking at right here, this is the console. Very good looking. We've got Jeff Degens.
Oh, there's his real
his console account.
Is that his real email address?
That's my real last name.
Yeah.
I just brought you guys in to be one of me.
Okay, so what we're looking at here, the access token. Right, so what you said earlier, that this is the token that's used to kind of tie your relayer usage to a billing account. That's accurate. This is kind of secretive. Yeah, if anybody had either your access token or one of, if you had several, they'd essentially be able to use a relayer and you would get charged for it, which is not good. So you do want to protect these, but this isn't the same key that's used for like encryption onto the network. So that is something that really once you delete that, and we kind of hide it a little bit because we don't want people to just show up and delete their encryption key, and then all the data that they've uploaded they can never get back until quantum computers anyway.
That's
but yeah, so these billing keys though, the tokens, I suppose we should stick with what says there, the access token. So that is something that it generates a new one for every relay that you set up. So that's how you can kind of track can keep track of several relayers if you have them going. If you don't need one anymore, you can remove the token, you can destroy it. So that would mean that any usage that tries to use that token would no longer get access to the network. There's no account hooked up.
And Henry, is it true that if I were to copy and paste that key and put it in a text file somewhere and I were to accidentally delete it, is there a configuration file? Is there a way to bring that key back in to reenact or re-enable that relayer instance, or once it's gone, it's toast once you remove it from console?
Yeah, so if you lose the token on the console, if you lose the token on the client side, so in the relayer, you can just show back up to this console page and grab your token again, and put it in the text file where it belongs, and then you'd be able to continue. But if you delete it from the console side, so we see here the bright blue remove button. If that looks a little too appealing and you click some removes that maybe you shouldn't have, you can just create a new token immediately above that, and then kind of manually manually go through the process of creating a new token and replacing the existing one in the relayer with that new token. So it's not a destructive process. If you accidentally delete a billing token, you can just make a new one. It's a little bit of a process, but you can come out right from that.
Okay.
It's I just definitely I want to distance that from the encryption key, which that one really is destructive. You don't want to lose that.
Right. So the token on this page right now is the billing token, effectively, right?
That's right.
And so
I see. Okay.
The data still exists. It just doesn't know where to bill it, and it's going to eventually not be paid for and get wiped. That's what erasure coding would include, or that's what the new billing program or progress or whatever.
Yeah. So I think you're alluding to the removals, the full removals and then pseudo removals. So we've had that as a sprint for a while, and our devs have done I'm constantly impressed by how they work. They have essentially laid out all of the next sprints that we need to do and all of the approach that they need to achieve it. So we have a very good sense of what it takes to do removals. And that's, I've seen it timelined as probably a 60 to 90 day sprint. But what we can do before then is something called pseudo removals, which is instead of fine-tuned, full removals is I want to delete this file and exactly that bucket. That's kind of what you'd expect, similar to a normal file system. What pseudo removals can do, though, is a per token. So if you have relayers that you don't want to use anymore, they can wipe them in the console and they're freed on the network. So it's kind of a step that gets us towards removal, so we can do pseudo removals much quicker, and we're expecting that in the next couple of weeks. And then for the May 1st launch, then by that point we'll be working on full removals, but they won't be ready for another little longer.
I have a question about if you have more than one token and more than one relayer in your wallet, is there an efficient way to know which one is which? What if you're going to remove your token and you have a test relayer somewhere and a real relayer? How do you know which one you're removing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So right now we don't make it super easy. I don't think there's anywhere in the UI of the dashboard that reveals what your billing token is. So you'd have to look at the actual relayer files that are stored. So it should be within the config or the conf folder of the relayer data. So you'd have to open that up and then open in a text viewer the host.io auth file, and that should output the key, and then you can match that to one of the ones in the console.
Oh, cool. A little research, goes a long way.
So you just dig
the wrong one.
Yeah, dig into the metadata a little bit, and then find that host.io. Okay. Yeah, because I think I have on mine right now, I have about 7 or 8 keys just from spinning up each new version as it was coming out. You spin up a new instance, and I actually saw Ken posted a little screen cap this morning. I guess Relayer 2.0.1 is out, and now it shows your network throughput. It shows your uploads, downloads. It has a new little box in the bottom right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'd like to asterisk that a little bit as far as it being out. So it's out to our Relayer beta testers. So
Right.
On Docker, it's tagged as a nightly tag,
Mhm.
which is a tag that we're going to have moving forward. We've moved to there being the stable tag. So that's like full releases that have gone through all the beta process to make sure that they're good. So we have the stable tag. I think we're going to be doing version specific tags as well. But then we have the nightly, and the nightly is in line with, I'm not sure if you've followed other software development projects where there are nightlies available. It's okay. Well, the idea of a nightly is that you're kind of getting the version that exists at the end of each day. So
Gotcha.
at nighttime on the dev's machine. So
just whatever minor little tweaks have been accomplished, and everybody puts it out,
and maybe errors.
Right.
Yeah. So there may be issues. That's the main thing, and why I wanted to asterisk that. It's a beta release right now, but the idea is kind of smaller but more rapid intervals with the nightly. So there might be 5 to 10 nightlies for every one stable.
Okay, it's still awesome to see the speed of development and see that, like, there's such a huge amount of effort being put into constantly updating, constantly, just trying to fine tune everything. Just a really awesome team of guys working on this product. So
certainly, yeah, and I hope it doesn't fuel some of the conspiracy that all of our devs are actually just AI and GPT that Ken is using in the background, because I have kind of observed that our development has picked up and our release pace has picked up right around when GPT did as well.
Right.
I mean, whatever works, right?
Yeah, all the people he introduced at the 2 Papa Bravo event were they were paid actors.
Yeah, crisis actors.
Hey.
You're cut off, sir.
That's it. David, cut his mic. Cut his mic. Well, Henry, it's been a real treat having you come here and help us figure out these things. I think that it's going to be a good warning for anybody who's going to delete their tokens. If they have a relayer running that they want to keep, make sure they don't delete the wrong token. I mean,
for sure.
Do your homework. Do a little homework first before you go clicking shiny blue buttons.
I mean, it's fun and it works real fast.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Henry, it was great talking to you. I appreciate you hopping on with us on this little.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm a friend of the show, so I'll be either in the audience watching, or whenever you have questions or just want to chat.
Oh, we always have questions.
We're going to get you a 2 Fun Uncles T-shirt.
Oh wow, thank you.
But we get a problem here. And before we can get you a 2 Fun Uncles T-shirt, we got to get some 2 Fun Uncles T-shirts.
Yeah,
and we talked about this last week about getting a logo art contest, right?
Right. Yeah, let's go over that real quick. So we brushed over it last week. We didn't really make any like formal announcements in any of the channels or on Twitter or anything like that. We did sit down last night. We put a few rules together for it, and we'll post this in Outreach. So basically, yeah, create your best SC Prime or Fun Uncles based AI art. So using Midjourney or whatever AI art generation platform you want to use. You need to submit it. You need to submit it on Twitter using the hashtag SCP_art. Share and retweet as much as you can. First place is going to be 2,000 SCP and 2,000 SPF.
And a T-shirt.
And maybe we incorporate the art that you produce into the T-shirt. Something like that.
Oh, I mean, that's what I really want to see. That's the best case scenario is we get some fun, even if it's just a one-off. It can be a logo. It can be it can have oat milk in it. It can have dogs with blue tape helmets in it. It can have
examiners.
Me and my buddy Chum over here. Whatever it is.
Which way do I go? There we go.
It's this way, right?
It's backwards. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, do an examiner with a cardigan.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, we'd love to see some submissions. Like I said, we'll put this out a little bit more formally and open discussion and an outreach, and then I will share it on the Steve Cloud's Twitter. Jeff will probably share it on Hot Sauce.
Who knows?
Twitter. And yeah, the only other thing I had on the docket, I know we're kind of getting crunched on time. David, can you pull up my screen share real quick? We don't want Examiner. This is just Examiner dashboard. But so I talked earlier a little bit about the SC Box 2 that I'm running, and I mentioned that I ordered a couple of these gold shells. So right now they're running kind of an Easter special. I looked everywhere else for these. So I checked on Newegg, which is where I got my SC Box 2. These miners are like $1,200 in a lot of other places. So they're running a special. They're $780. And then you can add a second one for another $576. So I think out the door, it was like just under 0.05 Bitcoin. You do have to pay these guys in crypto, USDC, USDT, Bitcoin, ETH, stuff like that. But it's a pretty sweet deal for just for the amount of hash that you're getting on it. On SC Prime hash, you're getting 2.9 gigahash per each one of these units. So pretty sweet. Just thought I'd share that with you guys.
Those come with power supplies and all that stuff.
Yep, PSUs are included, and
Wow,
they do run on 110 volts. You don't need any crazy 240 volt.
I mean, I hope not.
So
$678 each, and they shipping extra. I guess they come from China.
No shipping. Shipping was included in that. I think I sent them 0.04835 Bitcoin or something, and shipping was tied in with that.
I mean, that's a real. That's a value.
Yeah.
So here's a bit of a conspiracy theory, which it seems that whenever these things go on sale, it means something new's coming, right?
Yeah, seems to be the thing. Yeah, so maybe we're expecting something new from Gold Shell, or maybe Bitmain, or I'm sure they know something we don't. Definitely seems like Ken knows something that we don't. So for me, it's just a really exciting time to kind of jump in and dedicate a little hash rate to the network, and hopefully. Right. Sometimes you get crazy blocks, if we do wind up having the fork, sometimes, your difficulties will kind of bounce around all over the place, and who knows what you'll wind up getting if you have some hardware running at that time. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Absolutely. And when I say that maybe there's new miners coming, I don't mean that in some kind of like reason to push you away from buying it, but more like something to be excited for in the future too.
Yeah.
Right? It's a positive thing. If we get a whole bunch of new hash rate for affordable, that helps with our ASIC problem.
Yeah, and that it drives. Yeah, I think it drives pricing a little bit. I think it drives. It just helps the network out. It helps secure everything a little bit more too. So we're a little more. You want your hash rate just as decentralized as our storage is. You know what I mean? You don't want it in the hands of these big players and
dumpers.
We don't want the dumpers anymore. So
no more dumpers.
But anyway, that's what else? What time are we getting into? I think we're inching up on 10 o'clock here.
Yeah, it's 1 p.m. here in sunny Brooklyn, New York. I think that this was a fun little call. We've solved some problems. We're growing every episode here. I need to figure out my camera because I keep looking at my screen, which is way down lower. Not looking at my camera.
Same here. I don't know where to put my eyes.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think we did good. And there's a few people in the audience, but we're going to post this on YouTube. Oh, this is where we say smash the like button.
Oh, right.
Hit that follow button and share that thing.
Like, follow, and subscribe. That's
there we go. We better make that happen. David, make that happen. Make a button. Go. Your Twitter account isn't active yet, sirs. Who is this guy? I don't know. Somebody new.
Oh, yeah, the Twitter account, I just put something. It's the future Twitter account. That will be the Twitter account.
Future Twitter account.
Gord, make that account right now. Steal it.
George, do it.
he's gonna hold it. He's gonna hold it hostage.
It's just a GIF account. And that's it.
Awesome, guys. Well, yeah, again, thanks, Henry, for hopping on. That was a very informative and cool call. Hopefully, I don't know. I think we do need to do a live relayer setup at some point. Maybe next week's episode we can.
Absolutely. I got a clean box. It's got no relayer that works anymore. So let's just.
There you go. It makes sense. We can run through the certs, run through the install, and
well, maybe not the search. That took like a week, but we'll do the relay. We'll get the relayer up in 90 seconds.
Well, Henry, are you still there on audio?
I am. Yep.
What's the quick 30-second rundown on why traffic trumps like how I did mine with the Cloudflare tunnel and doing just the Cloudflare search?
Copy pasting that certs in.
Yeah, so that works as well. So with yours, I think if you visit like steveclouds.com, that's it, right? xns.steveclouds.com is my relayer. Okay, so that works as well. So XNS is just going straight to the Minio endpoint, I think.
Yeah.
What you can do with traffic is have tons of flexibility. So you could have xns-dashboard.steveclouds.com, and that takes you to your relayer admin panel. If you have multiple relayers going, each of them can have, like, there's no limit really on whatever that prefix is.
Gotcha. Instead of,
and
like,
that's all.
So with Cloudflare, I'm stuck on just that one URL that I created a cert for is the only thing that actually has the full TLS encryption or something.
That's right. So it's good to get off the floor and at least gets you in the Cloudflare ecosystem, which I think Cloudflare is usually pretty good at what they do. So I could totally understand if somebody maybe didn't want to go that route because it does tie you to another service. But frankly, Cloudflare is pretty integrated to the core of the internet now. And if Cloudflare goes down, we're all kind of screwed.
Right.
But they do what they do really well. It's the free Cloudflare tier, so you don't need to pay anything. You get all the benefits of their proxy and cache. Mm-hmm. So that actually works as a content distribution network as well. So I did a bit of testing on this with Jay when I was setting up mine. And when I uploaded, one of the things that I like testing my relayer with is the 1 gig Ubuntu server ISO. Perfect so file. Jay downloaded that, and it came off my machine at something like 50 to 60 megabytes per second, which is pretty good. But once it entered the Cloudflare cache, because he downloaded it once, then the second time he downloaded it, it was more like 80 to 90 megabytes per second. And it wasn't actually coming straight off my box. It was now coming from the cache.
From the cache on Cloudflare. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Right.
That's the same thing I noticed last week when I was David was trying to share the video with me, and we did a similar thing where it's like he hit upload, and then all of a sudden it was already there. I'm like, how is this file already appeared in Minio, and how am I already able to download it in like 2 seconds? Yeah. I didn't actually have a speed test or anything going to see, what the latency was like, but yeah, I thought that was pretty insane.
Well, yeah, so I'm happy to get people kind of set up with Cloudflare. You can do the easy, just tie your domain in, and then just get the cert and drop that in the relayer. That works too. Or you can go through the traffic process for a more, I guess, powerful and gives you more options.
Yeah, and Henry and I did it the other day, and I skipped some steps as I'm wont to do, and it created a backlog. And we had a degen debug session, and it was not hard at all if you followed the fucking steps. But
yeah. So you joked earlier that it takes a week. I think it was half a day to do the steps, and then 6.5 to do the DNS transfer.
I mean, I did go to work and get drunk in the middle, but whatever. Came back.
Right. So I have gone back to that guide, and I now added step numbers. So the DJEFs of the future won't get to skip anything.
That helps.
We are here for you.
Put a little check mark box next to each one. That way you
can't go past it. You got to do it, and then you click, and then it loads the next one.
Yeah. There's a multiple choice quiz at the end of every step.
Well, I think that our producer David is going to go run off to Little League or something like that.
Something. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that was a good show, and we'll see everybody back here next week, and hopefully do some relayer installs.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Henry. Thanks,
We'll
Steven.
see everybody. Thanks, David.
Thank you, David.
Yep.
And I guess that's it. So wrap it, or put the image up, or do something, and then we'll be done, or we'll just fade to black. Ooh, there we go. See you later, guys.
Y'all have a good weekend. Later.